Hello, chefs. Good afternoon. My name is Isaiah Gerrard, and I'm a student at the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. You're listening to a unique podcast where we will discuss tough yet real topics that need to be heard in the industry. Today, I have the honor of sitting with two great mentors of mine that have helped inspire me not only through my culinary journey, but through my personal journey as well. In this call, we will discuss the importance of having a positive mindset and outlook in your daily life. I'm excited to get started and jump right in. So without further ado, I will let Chef German Lamb introduce himself.
Well, first of all, greetings from Boston. And far as my bio, I look at it from where you are, you're the young Jedi right now, right? I am Yoda. So to me, it's like we don't have enough time to talk about, what my bio is. But far as I would say this, master chef, author, cancer victor, consultant. And if you think about it, as a chef, what I learned was we know how to mentor mentees. That is the beautiful art of an artist. It's showing them how to use their sense, their smell, their eyes, their ears, and better yet, their gut. So to me, these are the most important core values that you need to be successful. So for me, this journey right now, I look at it, it's just a start. So this is just the beginning for me right now.
Thank you, Chef, for that great introduction. Now I will our special guest introduce yourself. Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie Draznin. I am a speaker, coach, #1 best-selling author, and I kind of do it all. I also do publishing, and I had the honor of meeting Isaiah through personal development seminar, and I am just all about helping people grow and become the best versions of themselves and create the life that they're excited to wake up to every morning.
Thank you, Katie, for that introduction. Today, we'll be discussing one of my favorite topics, the power of positive thinking. This topic weighs heavy on my life and has helped me through my successes and through the lessons that needed to be learned. Positive thinking is something that can not only impact you, but impact those inside and outside of your circle. I'm going to start off the discussion with a tough question that will take the lead for the rest of the discussion. This question is an open question for all panelists to answer. To know how far we have come and really appreciate what we have accomplished and where we are today, it is important to remember where we started. When is a time in your life where you have been at your lowest point and lost hope? How did you break through?
That's a really good question. I think in my life, it kind of has come in waves. I have had like tremendous success, and then there's like a speed bump or hiccup in the road that you almost feel like, or I almost feel like, or felt that there was like no way forward. But I think a time that like comes out in my head, like, or that I think about is I grew up as a competitive swimmer. And when I was younger, I didn't make like the highest level swim team. And I used that as like the motivation to push me forward. And the moment it really sucked, like it was, I like didn't think that I could like go any further and that I was done. But I just used it as motivation to like keep going and make travel like swim teams all the way as far as like I kept swimming. But I've taken that like throughout my life. And it's like when you're down and the cards are stacked against you, it's like, what else can I do to keep moving forward? But then also look at the situation and say, hey, is this happening because this isn't right? And I need to choose a different path, or I need to choose something different? Or is this happening and I just need to keep pushing so that I can grow and become stronger and better at what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for that. It's definitely tough when you're going through those times of where you don't think where you you need to be. It's hard to push through, but it's definitely important to remember why you're doing it, and that kind of pushes you forward. Yeah, Chef Lamb.
Well, you know what? I listened to this question and it makes me think of where I am in my stage. So think about Katie, where you're at your journey. Isaiah, same thing. So for me, I'm a parent. And think about being a parent in today's generation. Very challenging. But cancer 6 years ago decided to come into the world. And if you talk about being down, let me tell you about the journey. You have to be you, yourself, and I, meaning you have to be the dragon slayer. You have to be the Bruce Lee. You have to be the ninja assassin. You have to be Hercules. You have to be Superman. And there is no one there to teach you and hold your hand, because when you get old in life, not old, but wisdom. And when I heard Katie about, at the beginning, absolutely, a lot of pitfalls, pitfalls. Think about being harassed, being bullied, going to school, that's like norm. That's how kids are, right? So all these little growing pain in life, I look at it, and now the question is, do you know what's right and what's wrong? That right there is the key point to your question, Isaiah, because if you know what's right, what's wrong, then whatever's happening, whatever's coming your way, now you will come up with a solution, right? And to me, that is the beauty of life, right? It's not a perfect recipe. Like I always say, it's freestyle. And freestyle meaning there is no end. There's just a beginning. And think about how I speak, right? Well, I love philosophy. And for me, I study philosophy growing up, just like the art of cooking. I study the art of cooking in the world of different cultures, of how, why. And I think when you know how, why, that question you just answered, you would really simplify your solution and what you need to do to jump over the hurdle.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you guys for that great advice and inspirational stories. We will go to our next question. There are all tough situations that we cannot control, and situations that we wish didn't happen. So our next question: what is the best advice you can give someone that wants to change their mindset to positive thinking? What are some things they could begin to do in their daily life to change their mindset?
So as someone who has a career in helping people shift their mindset, it's getting support, like getting aligned with the right people and having the right mentors or coaches in your life. I think also it comes down to who's in your immediate circle or sphere of influence. Like, who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you surrounding yourself with people who are always thinking negatively, always go to the worst possible scenario? Or are you surrounding yourself with people who are solution oriented, seeing the big picture, seeing the good in everything? If you really want to shift your mindset, shift the people you're hanging out with. You are directly influenced by the people that are right next to you.
Yeah, that's such a good point. The people who you hang around are the people you become, and that's said a lot, but oftentimes we kind of ignore that. So thank you for mentioning that, Katie. Chef Lamb.
Yeah.
This is a great question right here, right? Because I always say, is the circle of friends that you have. That's a phrase that everybody says, but in life there's two parts, right? I call it the yin and yang, right? Good versus evil. But it's beautiful to understand both parts. And there are people who are able to come back from addiction. And there are people who are not able to come back from addiction. So for me, it's really about, friends and you understanding, like I was saying, you drink this, you eat this, you put this in your mouth. Does it give you speed? Does it strengthen the body, or does it crash and burn? Does it give you jitters? So to me, I look at the hows and whys And this way you understand, just because you have people like in the kitchen, Chef Isaiah, sanitation, safety, and respect are the three core before you could put on this white jacket and actually cook. Because without sanitation, without respect, without safety, you're not going to be able to make that, scrambled egg, spaghetti carbonara, a nice fried clam, because there are techniques that you have to go by to actually to make sure those are clean methods and preparation to execute.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Chef. Yeah, you need to have that base and that foundation, and then once you have that, you could go from there. So thank you. So our next question is something that many are still trying to figure out in life, but it is essential to living a fulfilling life. So how did you discover your purpose in life, and how has your purpose driven you on your daily basis? What motivates you?
I think that I feel like purpose is such a huge topic. And I don't know, I feel like you don't just have to have one purpose in life. Like, I know that my purpose is to help people create the life that they're excited to wake up to every morning. However, I'm not attached to what that looks like or how that happens. That's just the end goal. So it could be through helping people publish their #1 best-selling book. It could be through helping people create a healthy relationship with fear. It could be through teaching people about healthy self-care habits and how to reduce and eliminate burnout in their life. I think if we get attached to what something looks like or how it needs to be, that kind of distracts from the overall purpose of what we're meant to be, meant to do or achieve. I don't know if I have an answer for how we discover our purpose, because I think it's different for every person. Like, some people, they might know from a small age that they're meant to do something, like meant to be a chef, or meant to be a doctor or a surgeon or along those lines. My journey wasn't like that. My journey was very much followed societal norms, went to college, went to graduate school, did all the things that I was supposed to do, and I was unhappy. And I didn't know what I wanted, and what I do kind of fell in my lap, and it ended up being something that I love and I feel like I was drawn to, but I had to go through everything that I went through in order to get to that place. So I don't think that finding your purpose is linear, and I don't think it's this easy answer, go meditate and your purpose will come to you. I think that it's different for every person. I would say start with, what are you passionate about? What brings you pure joy? And by joy, I mean, what's something that you feel joyful about that it's not about an external factor. The difference between joy and happiness is happiness requires an external factor. Joy is internal, it's inside of you. So what brings you joy at the end of the day? And start from there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Chef Lamb?
Wow, Katie, that was great. I mean, you're talking about the response, and I'm listening to you, and my approach, as like I said, at my stage, I could be retired, and I'm saying to myself, why am I here, in this podcast, talking with Isaiah? And I'm thinking to myself, how many people between the age difference between Isaiah and myself have this amazing communication, this energy, and it's like hitting on the nail. And to me, I love to connect with people, and I love to mentor mentees. And the reason why, because as a chef, I became this chef not because of how great I was or how smart I was, but I had people who came into my life at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Boston who loved me, who shared me, who corrected every mistake that I made. And I learned something as a parent. That's what parents are for, right? It's not saying, you'll figure it out, don't worry, you'll get it. Not at this point right now, because the world has changed, people has changed. So correcting someone takes a skill where you're not downgrading them, you're not disrespecting them, but you're saying, let me teach you, because there won't be another person who will do this for you. And I say this to every person that I meet. I say, you will never meet German lamb in this world, because to someone to say, hey, how's your body? How's your mind? How's your spirit? How's your food? Are they A+? No one talks about those core values, but I do, because I know those are your success. And I can say this to anyone who's listening to this: are you A+ in these 4 areas that I just mentioned, 24/7? That is something very hard to commit to. 2 out of 4, yes, but 4 out of 4, I don't meet too many people who could actually live like that and create a philosophy that is so simple and practical.
Yeah, great points. Purpose is definitely different for everybody. Everybody has a different path, so it's very important to know what you're passionate about. So thank you guys so much. So moving on to our last question, I want to close it out with something really good. So what are some character traits that are essential for someone to possess a positive mindset?
I think that everything in life comes down to like beingness, like who are you being and how are you showing up in the world? But I don't necessarily think that there's like a set list of words, but the only one that comes to me that's like a matter of fact is integrity. And I don't mean just like integrity, like in doing what you say. I mean doing what you say even when nobody's watching. Like that's, if you're able to do that, then you're able to do just about anything. And it's those people that like have true integrity that I want to follow and I want to have be a part of my life. And then I think like just being genuinely kind and authentic and like vulnerable. But at the same time, it's like, just be who you are. Like, just be you. You don't have to be anything other than who you are in order to have a positive mindset. Because even emotions or beingness words that people think about that are negative, they're not negative. Everything is, it just is. It's how you express and embody that determines whether or not you have a positive mindset. And I don't think that like I can say whether or not someone has a positive mindset or not. I think it's like, do you feel like your mindset is positive? I can help you like get to the next level, but how do you feel about where you're at? I don't think there's like a set list of like how you need to be.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Just be you.
Be you. Great. I love it. Chef Lamb?
Oh, Katie, I'm listening to this right here, right? And you're like a free spirit, right?
I'm so free spirit.
This is what I say when I teach. Freestyle is beautiful only if discipline and structure are in place. Because without discipline and structure, freestyle becomes a wrecking train. And it could go left, right, it could go, it does. So for me, I always say, hey, body, mind, spirit, and food, right? Because you're the one that created this. So when I say, when you look in the mirror, who created that beast? You did. So you have a choice to be an icon or not to be an icon. So I challenge you in a very deep point. You don't run, the body doesn't get strong. You don't read philosophy, the brain doesn't know what's left or right. Then your spirit, where are you going to get the Dragon Warrior spirit? Then the last part, the food. A lot of people are very selective I can't eat this. I don't like this. Oh, I don't like the texture. I don't like this. Then I'm like, okay, you really can't mentor anybody, right? Because if you're mentoring someone, it's 360. It's not about, it's not about like politics. It's about understanding, can you create solutions? And for humans, that is the core. Can you create a solution to a problem just like that? And if you can, oh my God, it's just like cooking.
Chef's kiss. Yeah, definitely. This has been a great discussion. Like, I words can't even describe how much this means to not only me but the people that will be watching it. So, this call will impact a lot of people. So thank you guys so much for being a part of it. I really appreciate it. We have talked about a lot of important things that people will hear and go and implement in their life. So I thank you guys so much for being a part of this, and see you guys on the next call.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.